See the world's hottest all-real, all-naked girls going wild. Girls Gone Wild is delighted to offer you exclusive free VIP access for a limited time.
Alright, I think I'm recording. Still getting used to the GoPro. Well, I figured I'd make a video for you guys to let you guys know how it's been going with the 20G Turbo. I'll go ahead and pop the hood and start talking about it a little bit more. Yeah, the 20G Turbo's been pretty good. It's definitely got a decent more punch than the VF48. Definitely made the car feel a lot more alive. But yeah, I'll let you guys take a gander about what she's looking like right now. Ooh. Yeah, so things with the 20G didn't go too good. As you can see, the engine bay is empty. We have a short block over here, completely torn apart. And then we have a couple cylinder heads over here. Now, would you look at that? A nice, beautiful 20G Turbo. Still spins good. So yeah, I had a spun bearing while I was driving down the interstate going like 70 miles per hour, minding my own business. So not really sure exactly why the bearing spun. Kind of feel like maybe the 20G Turbo might have been a little bit too much. I really don't know what exactly caused the failure besides just too much load on the bearings from the 20G, which sounds ridiculous to me, but you know, the EJs, they have really, I guess, thin rod bearings, and I think over time, maybe in combination with the 20G, maybe by running ethanol, the fuel dilution of the oil probably wasn't helping things. And I think it wasn't something that happened over a day. I think this was something that happened over maybe a year or maybe 6 months. So I actually ran the 20G for about 5 months before this happened. And everything was really good. Honestly, the engine, even the day of, sounded great. But I was driving down the interstate, started hearing some rattling, and believe it or not, I drove this car another I drove this thing another 30 miles with it knocking. But it wasn't a bad knock. It was just like little taps. By the time I got to my driveway, it was getting on like the bad end of the sound. Anyways, the reason why I'm standing over here is because, oddly enough, the wear on the heads are actually, dude, the wear's really not bad on the heads or the cams or anything. The only thing that was actually bad, I don't know where the heck my rods are, but the only thing that was bad was that one rod. It was number 4, I can tell you that much. Number 4 is the one that spun. Number 3 had a decent amount of wear on the bearing, and then number 2 had a little bit less wear, and then 1 had no wear, and then the mains were perfectly fine. And like I said, the head's still good. There's really no, you couldn't tell that these heads were from an engine that spun the bearing. Even though I drove at 30 miles, you can't tell. Seriously, like, this stuff's not in bad shape. The pistons, because like I said, I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on. I was looking for detonation. None of the pistons have any detonation marks or anything. There's no cracks. So everything with the pistons looked good. So then you're like, okay, if it wasn't detonation, if it wasn't the tune, if you didn't lean out, what happened? The oil pump was my second guess. All of the, I wish I could get over here, but I got all this stuff over here. The oil pump is unfortunately down there at the rods, and I'm not going to reach over to get it, but the oil pump, the screws on the back were perfectly fine. None of them were loose. The relief valve was a little sticky, but it still moved a little bit. I really don't think that had anything to do with it, to be honest. It could have even been sticking because of all the bearing material or the metal that might have been flowing through there. Short block looked fine, so I really can't point the finger at any specific thing. Like I said, I'm thinking fuel dilution, and I'm also thinking extra load from this 20G on stock Subaru bearings for the EJ. So, I guess I really just wanted to make a video to tell you guys about this because, and this is probably the most important thing, guys, STIs are fucking badass. I got 2 of them. This one's got 75,000, and the other one that's in the driveway has 11. But I'll tell you right now, man, if you're going to play with these things, man, you got to have some money, dude. And I say that because even though I'm pretty experienced with Subarus, I'm more experienced with 2JZ cars. I was not aware how expensive it is to get one of these going again after you spin a bearing. Because when you spin a bearing, the right way to do it is, I mean, you can clean the heads, but I mean, they're freaking $500-700 a pop. You might as well just buy new heads, you know. New heads, new short block, new gears, new gears, and pretty much anything that ran oil through it, all the little lines and all that other stuff. The solenoids here, these solenoids that are like $150-200 a piece. You got to replace those. Your turbo, even though this thing spins really good, you know, I'm gonna send it off to get cleaned by Boost Lab or something. Have them maybe take that turbo apart. I'm hoping that the camera's picking this. Yeah, I can picking it up. It looks a little far away, but this is a 20G turbo. Anyways, send that off to Boost Lab to get cleaned up. But yeah, man, you pretty much got to replace all this shit. And then you're going to be like, well, while I'm in here, I might as well do a little bit extra. Anyways, I'm going to tell you right now, I have everything in my house, not in the garage, because I have like 100 boxes in my house. I have an engine stand in my living room because I don't have enough room out here to be playing with it. And plus, you know, I don't want to get dust on the engine. I have an IAG 750 block in the house, short block in the house. Anyways, all said and done, IAG block, IAG 750, new heads, new Ohm Subaru heads, and then all the little gears and the lines. And I got a FP blue ball bearing turbo, like that LOP, Lope one or whatever the hell it's called. Bigger injectors. Anyways, like an upgrade from like an Ohm block. You know, a decent upgrade from an Ohm block, like a 450 to 525 build, 525 real horsepower build. Dude, I'm about $20,000 in. And that's with me getting a lot of, I have a guy that hooks me up with parts, and, you know, I'd say I probably save 15-20%, over like the average person that's just ordering from like the websites, you know, like the IAG or, you know, whatever, COBB, etc. You know, I save a little bit of money by going through this guy on shipping, on the price of the parts, etc. But it still came to almost, I think realistically, it's probably about $19,000. But yeah, $19,000 to maybe make 450 to 525 horsepower. Probably more on the 500 end, but yeah, man, $20,000, and I'm not too happy about that. I just didn't know. Anyways, if you guys just want to be cheap and get like a stock RA block and refresh your heads and all that, I mean, dude, even if you cleaned everything and reused all this shit and all, you know, you got the machine work done, you had your turbo cleaned up and stuff, it's like, dude, I seriously don't think you could do this less than maybe $7,000 or $8,000 the right way, a correct way, a way that you could probably get away with it. $7,000 or $8,000. And the bad part is like, then even if you do that, you still run the risk of spinning another bearing, right? And or who knows? I mean, even cracking a ringland, probably rare with the Type RA. Like I said, man, these pistons look fine. I would not worry about an RA block that much when it comes to handling power for the pistons and the rods. But the bearings are what I'm concerned about. I'll tell you right now, and I'm probably talking a lot, but I don't know any other way to, you know, give you guys suggestions and stuff. If I were to build it with the Type RA short block from Subaru, I would 110% get the IAG Stage 2 oil pump. Because I really feel like what happened here is, again, based on what I can see after tearing this whole thing apart, I really think that it was fuel dilution and just, you know, a lot of load on those bearings. But what would have really helped me out is if the oil pressure was maybe a little bit higher or maybe the flow was a little bit better. That might have saved me. So I'll tell you right now, if you're going to build a 400 horsepower on a stock RA, stage 2 IAG oil pump, and run fucking 10W40 in that thing, right? 10W40 with a lot of zinc. I think liquid moly. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Is it liquid moly? I can't remember the fucking name. Anyways, they have a 10W40, and I think there's a lot of other brands out there. I think Modal. God, I hope I'm getting these names right. I think they make a 10W40 as well that you can get with a lot of zinc. I think they call it like ZDDP or something. You want something with a lot of ZDDP. Anyways, like I said, Type RA block, stage 2 oil pump from IAG, 10W40 weight oil, and you might get, a lot farther than I did with the stock RA block. Personally, and this is just from my experience, personally, I would not, if I could do it over again. All right, well, my freaking GoPro died. Anyways, I was just saying, let me get back in the groove here. All right, so if you don't want your garage to look like this with Subaru engine parts everywhere, if you have a stock RA block, I'm telling you, just run that next gen flex fuel, that flex fuel kit from COBB that makes like 330 horsepower to the wheels. Dude, if you're on a stock RA, just run that, dude. Everyone's going to tell you to go and get a Pro Tune. Don't waste your money. You're going to get like an extra 15 horsepower. It ain't going to do nothing. It ain't going to save your freaking engine. The COBB tune's good enough. And I'll tell you right now, based on my experience with the freaking Pro Tune, it wasn't that great. I mean, I made a little bit more horsepower. I don't really know if the car was that much more reliable. I know the drivability went down maybe like 10 or 15% compared to the COBB tune, but I mean, I want to do it again. So like I said, just do the 330. I think that's safe for the Subaru engine, for the stock RA. If you want to do like 400, I know you guys aren't going to be happy about it. There's probably going to be a bunch of idiots that say, oh no, it's fucking perfectly fine. Well, guess what? It's not. I mean, I change my oil every 1,500 miles and everything, and I mean, dude, the engine looked brand new inside still. I mean, if you can look inside of here, probably can't really pick it up, but dude, it's just pure silver. I mean, there's no yellowing, there's no tarnish, there's no nothing, dude. It's perfectly, I mean, dude, this engine was mint. So, and I take really good care of my cars. I mean, I did everything right, and it still spun a bearing. So, long story short, stock RA, make 330 and be happy. If you're not happy with 330, then you need to get an IAG stage, the IAG 550 block, and then you can maybe make 400 to 450. And then if you want to make more than that, then step it up to the 750. And then if you want to make more than that, then you probably got a lot more money than I got. And like I said, man, it's not cheap, guys. I mean, I'm going to imagine that most Subaru owners probably have their cars on a loan. And so you're pretty much going to be paying a loan for your car. And then, if you don't got $10,000 to $20,000 in the bank, then you have to use credit cards or get a loan against your car. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the hell you do, but, you're going to have to pay for this shit somehow. Now, in my case, at my age right now and where I'm working, I have a very decent amount of money in my bank. And this really wasn't that big of a deal. Now, that doesn't mean I'm happy about it. I'm freaking pissed. $20,000 is $20,000. But it's not going to kill me. It's just going to aggravate me for a couple months. It definitely ruined my weekend when it happened. So I'll tell you right now, man, if I was you guys, if you had to choose between an STI and a VB WRX, if you got a lot of money, if you make over $100,000 a year, or maybe $125,000 a year, $150,000 a year, then go ahead and get an STI. Maybe you should just go ahead and get a BMW. I hate BMWs, but, I wouldn't say that this is saving you any money by getting a Subaru. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to have a Subaru, a Boxer, and go make like 400 horsepower, I would seriously get the WRX because I haven't looked into the FA24F that much, but as far as I know, it's a decent amount better than the EJ257. And I think dude, honestly, if someone wants to look into it, go ahead. I haven't looked into it as of this video, but I probably will when I'm eating dinner tonight or something. Probably watch a video on it. I want to say that the journals for the rods and maybe even the mains on the F824F are larger than the EJ257, so you should not run into as many spun bearings. But I'd have to confirm that, but that's just what I think, and that's what I think I read. So yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the video. It's not a happy video. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I'm making 450 with my freaking EJ. Well, good for you, man. I kind of feel like a lot of people probably run into the situation that I'm in. Anyways, if anybody wants to buy anything on here, this is a complete 20G package. You got your 1050s. I'm going to have the 340 pump out of the car soon because it's going to be getting a 450 or whatever the hell it's called. Oh no, it's a 38. God, is it what is it? Oh, 340 pump. And then I think I'm putting a high pressure Walbro. I think they call it a 450. Anyways, so that fuel pump will be out. These heads will be also going up for sale because I have no use for them. They're actually in really good shape still though. Like seriously. The short block, the crankshaft's bad, obviously. One of the rods is bad, but the block is actually in pretty good shape. The pistons are in good shape, and guess what? They're all size B, and they're in the correct order right now. So, I mean, dude, if you want to go ahead and try and put this shit together, I can sell you this entire package pretty cheaply. Because everything on my car is going to be replaced with new stuff. I'm not reusing anything. The only thing I might reuse is this oil pan on my other car. But yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and end the video. Really don't want to make anyone feel bad or scare anybody, but I mean, I could have just had bad luck, you know. Like I said, I literally did nothing with the car for it to actually spin the bearing. I'm 36, so like I'm not beating on my cars like crazy. You know, I do maybe an occasional pull once a week. I mean, I'm not out there redlining it every day. I'll tell you right now, though, I do drive about 3,000 to 4,000 on my shifts. But I think for the EJ's design, I don't really think that's really, you know, I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, dude, them things, just the way they're geared and, you know, their short stroke, I kind of feel like 3,000 to 4,000 RPM is not putting a lot of pressure on an EJ. Anyways, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to decide to eat some pizza and, you know, eat the pain away. And I will see you guys on the next video. I'll probably make a video about me putting together the IAG block.